Hello, it's Adedoyin Jaiyesimi here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I did a video on YouTube. Not intentional. Life got really busy in between writing books. Yes, I have 2 more books coming out. Watch out for more details. Getting chartered, yay me. I'm going to be sharing about that experience as well, and just dealing with life in general. But I'm happy to be back recording on YouTube because I actually really missed it. So to start off, I thought about talking about things I wish I knew when I started my career, or things I wish I knew before I took my first official role as a communications professional. And as always, I hope that you learn from some of the things that I will be reflecting on today. I think the first thing I wish I had known is that communications is an evolving field or practice, and it is central to the success of every organization. And this knowledge will have been very important for me, because you know how people just think that comms is an afterthought. I didn't even know. I was just going with the motions, being an order taker in the early years of my career, not even really understanding how significant the job that I was doing within the organization was. And I'm really grateful that in the times that I did 9 to 5, I did work with forward-thinking bosses and senior leaders who really appreciated the value that I brought to the table. But I could have really done more if I just knew how central communications was. And earlier on, I would have been more proactive about my professional development as well, because that would have been something that would have really shortened my learning curve. But hey, I thank God that I caught on later on, but I think that's something I wish I would have known at the beginning of my career. So tied to that first point, the second thing that I wish I had known was really about prioritizing professional development and how developing myself professionally would have helped me to build expertise. I really suffered from imposter syndrome in the early years of my career because I was winging it. I was using my head knowledge or creative. I was just intuition, like I was just going with the flow, learning on the job. I didn't even know that there were principles behind what I was doing until I went to go and do my master's. If I had known, I would have really committed to my professional development, building my expertise, gaining knowledge, because like I said before, that would have significantly helped me, and especially in the area of confidence. So the things that I was second guessing and doubting myself concerning, if I had that knowledge, I wouldn't have. But yeah, that's something I wish that I would have known at the beginning of my career. The third thing I wish I had known is that many organizations, senior leaders don't really know much about the importance and the benefit of strategic communications. Yes, they are great CEOs. They have all of these MBAs, fancy degrees from all of these great schools. But when it comes to communications, they don't really know much. And so having this knowledge, right, I would have been more assertive about the counsel that I gave. But I guess maybe tied to the previous point, because I also wasn't confident, I was also winging it. I wasn't really assertive about certain things because I felt like, okay, if the boss says we should do it this way, then we have to do it this way. I didn't push back because I didn't know better. And it's not always true that they know better, especially when it comes to communications. And that's really why I believe that prioritizing professional development is important, because you cannot argue with me when I'm a professional. So I wish, I had known that, look, because someone is a CEO or a senior leader does not mean that they understand everything about communications. There's a lot of advocacy that I need to do. There's a lot of confidence at play in terms of being able to speak up, being able to speak out, being able to say, no, this is not the best way for us to go about this, or this is not what I advise, and be confident in giving counsel, even though it goes contrary to what it is that they want to do. So I really wish I had known that, yeah, clients and bosses are not always right. And yeah, if I developed my professional expertise earlier on, I would have been more confident to say, hey guys, this is not the right way. This is not the right path. I don't think we should be doing this. The fourth thing that I wish I had known, again, a lot of the points are kind of interrelated, is that a lot of people would think that they can do my job. Is it not just to write? Is it not just to post on social media? Is it not just to, if you see me now, if someone says to me, is it not just to, you can see the bad eye that I would give this person, because there's a way that people just minimize the work that goes into what we do. Is it not just to? Meanwhile, there's a lot of creative thinking that goes behind that. Is it not just to that piece of content? There's so much research that goes into it. Even the creativity is not just to, like, have you developed a creative idea before? Like, your brain, you're thinking over, you're tearing your paper, it's a whole process. And so I wish I'd known that a lot of people would think they can do my job better than me, because I used to get upset and angry. That I would have just saved myself all of those emotions and really just set the record straight and, like, no, you cannot do this job because of XYZ, rather than get upset with people or get emotional. And yeah, that's something that would have really helped me in the early years, but thankfully God has helped me to make a good success of my career in spite of that. The final thing, so the final thing I wish I had known, in fact I can say more than 5, but let me make this condensed. I wish I'd known that this field, you'll be working around the clock. Like, it's always on. It's almost like no days off. And there are times where 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., you're just working. I remember there was a time that I couldn't go anywhere without my laptop. I always had to have my laptop. Even when traveling, you see me there at the airports doing, but it was just very round the clock. But in the middle of that, I also wish that I had known earlier on that I could shape the kind of career that I wanted. I could design the career that I wanted, which is what I try to help a lot of younger professionals know, that yes, the nature of comms is always on, but depending on what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, you can actually design the type of career that you want. So right now, I have more flexibility because I realized that flexibility was important to me. I realized that my me time was really important to me. I wanted a day to be able to go off and nobody's calling me that something happened, or there's a mistake in this press release, or this thing needs to go to this press ASAP. I didn't want all of that. I wanted to have more control over my time, and thankfully I've been able to design that career. But in the early stages, it just looked like I succumbed to a lot of things because I thought that was the way to go for it. I was taking meetings at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. until, when I got to about, what's that, like maybe 7 or 8 years, I started putting boundaries on times that clients could call me. Yes, I did it. I started putting boundaries on when I would respond to emails, just to also protect my time. So that's something I wish I had known earlier on, because really we have to create some sort of balance. You can't just be always on. It's not great for you. Anyway, those are the 5 things I wish I had known at the beginning of my career. I would love to hear yours. What are some of the things you wish someone had told you before you jumped into this communication space? Some of the things that you feel like, hey, you guys should have warned me. Please feel free to post it in the comment section. I'll be there reading. Thank you for watching. Bye.